Are you ready to hear some great stories? If so, you're in the right place. You're going to hear true stories about how a simple vision and acts of service can change families, relationships, and communities. In just a moment, you'll learn powerful ways to teach your kids the value of service to others and how it can change their life. So don't go anywhere. Before we begin, I'd like to thank our proud sponsor of this episode and the Fatherhood Challenge, Ingenious Prep. Ingenious Prep is the world's premier admissions consulting firm, proud to be officially recognized as the country's top college admissions consultants, helping students prepare for admissions to top schools through individualized educational programs that increase chances of admission by up to 10 times. Ingenious Prep students work with former admission officers to differentiate themselves from other competitive students in 3 areas colleges evaluate students: in academics, extracurricular activities, and personal characteristics. Just this past admission cycle, Ingenious Prep students have secured 110 offers from Ivy League schools, 268 offers from top 20 schools, and 904 offers from top 50 schools. Ingenious Prep student success lies within the fact that Ingenious Prep is an all-in-one consulting firm offering every service a family needs, whether it be test prep, tailored candidacy building mentorship, academic mentorships, the Leadership and Innovation Lab, soft skills courses, writing courses, and other customized programs to develop their application persona to the most effective and authentic extent to share with colleges. Just click on the link in the episode description to book a free strategy call with one of Ingenious Prep's college experts, or you can visit ingeniousprep.com. That's ingeniousprep.com. and let them know you came from the Fatherhood Challenge.
Welcome to the Fatherhood Challenge, a movement to awaken and inspire fathers everywhere to take great pride in their role and to challenge society to understand how important fathers are to the stability and culture of their family's environment. Now, here's your host, Jonathan Guerrero.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My guest is Rodney Smith Jr. Rodney is the founder of a 501c3 organization called Raising Men and Women Lawn Care Service, which provides a very inspirational program that focuses on channeling the energy that youth have in a positive way, as well as helping those in need. Rodney, thank you so much for being on the Fatherhood Challenge.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Rodney, let's start with your own story, starting with how you grew up and what led you to start Raising Men and Women Lawn Care Service.
Yeah, so originally I'm from the island of Bermuda. I came to the United States to finish my last 2 years of high school in a small town called Amenia, New York. It was a small boarding school for kids with learning disabilities. And I was there for 2 years, and I would say the best 2 years of my life. Once graduating from there, I went to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, because I thought I wanted to do something with computers. So I attended ITT Tech out in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I was there for about 6 months. And during those 6 months, I had a hard time adjusting. And just one night, I just prayed to God and asked him to use me as a vessel. He didn't give me an answer that day, not a month later, not even a year later. It would happen a few years later, and here I am in Huntsville, Alabama, in my senior year of college, getting my bachelor's in computer science. And I was leaving school one day, and I came across an elderly man outside mowing his lawn, and it looked like he was struggling. So I done what anyone would do. I pulled over and helped him out. And little did I know that one small act of kindness would eventually change my life forever. And from that day on, I started mowing free lawns for the elderly, disabled, single parents, and veterans in Huntsville, Alabama. With me being in school, I thought I could mow 40 lawns by the end of winter, mowing in between classes. But I mowed 40 lawns so quick that I might go to 100. A month and a half later, I reached my 100th lawn, and that's when the idea of Raising Men and now Raising Women Lawn Care Service came about, where I'll still mow free lawns for the elderly, disabled, single parents, and veterans, but I'll also include kids locally to come out and mow with me. And that kind of is the whole story on how the organization came about.
It makes sense that serving others can be a powerful experience for those who receive the service. What exactly is it doing or teaching the one who's serving?
We're teaching the kids the importance of giving back. I know growing up, my parents always instilled in me that it's important to give back. And I just wanted to pass that on to the next generation because, a lot of kids in this day and age, they're inside playing video games. So I thought, hey, let's get them away from the video games and let's get them out doing something positive in the community and the response has been very positive. A lot of kids, they enjoy getting out there and making a difference one lawn at a time. Because I know when I was a kid, I hate mowing lawns, but God took something I disliked and turned it to something now I love to do. And every single day I get to wake up and mow free lawns and encourage the next generation to give back as well.
Interesting. So you used to hate mowing lawns.
Yes.
And now you've developed a real passion for it.
Yes, sir.
So is it about the mowing lawns part? Is that the part that you've come to enjoy? Or is it the result of the impact that makes the lawn mowing more enjoyable? Or is it both?
Yeah, I would say it's both, because I enjoy mowing lawns now. It's therapeutic, and I enjoy, helping people and making a difference and encouraging the next generation and seeing the smiles that we're putting on the people's faces that we help. Because, many of them are on fixed incomes. So when we can come mow their lawn for free, that now frees their extra funds up, and they can get things that's really important, like food and medication and stuff like that.
What are some of the creative ways that dads can raise their kids to be service centered rather than self centered?
Just look at ways to help the community. You might have a special skill set as a dad. You might be able to fix cars. You might be able to do something, paint a building, paint something, or just there's so many different ways to give back. If you see a need in your community, I would say start from that and build from that and encourage people to support you with that. My way was to make a difference of a lawnmower, and yours might be the same, or yours might be something different. But just find ways to give back, because there are so many ways, and there are so many people needing help. There are people that sometimes call me about like help with removing trees. That's a big thing, especially for the elderly. Here in Alabama, to remove one tree out of a yard is about $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000. So if you could find a way to give back doing that, that would be a great help to your community. So I'll just encourage them just to find a way, see what the community needs, and try to fulfill that need.
We are in a society and a culture that is just driven by making profit, by generating income. It's all about what can I get out of something.
Yes.
So it goes against the grain to be a type of person that will do a big task for somebody and not expect anything in return. Everybody is thinking that somebody wants something. So are you ever met with skepticism where someone's like, what do you want from me? Surely you want something. This can't just be for free.
At the start of the organization, a lot of people were skeptical about, this can't be for free. But after, them seeing what we were doing and found out it really is free, they start warming up to the idea. So I don't really come across anyone like that anymore, because people see the work that we do. And if someone needs help locally, we're there, and we're doing it for free. And our goal is just to encourage others to, because we can only mow so many lawns by ourselves. So to see others jump in on the mission and give back as well, that's important as well. So yeah, that was something that happened at the early stages of the organization, but I don't really see it that much.
Do you ever see that it is contagious, that what you're doing is contagious? Do you ever see it spilling over into other ways where people want to pay that action forward?
Yeah, I mean, kindness is contagious. People see what you're doing and they want to do the same thing in their community, or they want to do something different in their community. So it's, it's like a ripple effect. You do something good, someone sees it, and hey, what he's doing, I want to do the same thing in my community. And so I've seen a lot of that, and that's very good, because it's such a need. I get calls from all over the country of people asking, is your organization in my city or my town? And, sometimes we don't have kids that are volunteering in our program in their city. So, I had to say no sometimes, but, to see other people step up and take the initiative and just seeing what we're doing and just doing it in their community, that's something special. I learned a long time ago, if you plant a seed, you can always watch it grow. So that's what we're trying to do.
Let's talk about the spiritual implications of what you're doing. Are they seeing Jesus through what you're doing?
I would hope so, because, this whole organization started because of the Lord. I asked him to use me as a vessel. Like I said, he didn't give me an answer right away, but eventually he showed me what he wanted me to do. And I've been doing it every day since. And ever since that day, I've been mowing free lawns. And I just asked him, I see what you want me to do. All I ask is, Lord, please help provide to this organization. And he has done that since day one. So I hope they can see the little bit of the Lord in me when I'm out there mowing lawns. Um, Even when I first started the organization, I wasn't very spiritual, but I knew that in the time of need, there's only one place you can go, and that's, just pray to the Lord. And that's when I asked him to use me as a vessel. And, it's amazing. It's amazing what he has done. I've seen some things happen and I'm just like, wow, just wow, wow, wow.
Well, let's get to that. Please share some stories of some of the people and communities you and the kids who've partnered with you have helped. How has it changed lives? And what is your own personal testimony of how God has worked with you and how you've experienced him personally?
Yeah, so a lot of the kids they mow for the elderly, disabled, single parent veterans, and like just recently, there's a kid named Cannon out in Texas, Midwest City. He came across an elderly man who's a World War II veteran who just happened to go 100 a few days ago, and I think a home care worker reached out to his mother because they were hiring a lawn care service to mow his lawn, and they will come every other week or something like that. And they were taking advantage of this veteran, and they were, just skimming his grass and just taking advantage. And they were charging him like $300 a month. And you're a veteran, you're on a fixed income. That was a lot of money to him. So Cannon heard about this gentleman, and ever since he's been mowing his lawn for free, and they will continue to mow his lawn forever until that day comes. So stories like that. There was a kid named Wesley out in Michigan. He was a very shy, quiet kid, and mom told me when he first started the organization. But he got to get a chance to go out in his community and meet different people and help out, and he started to become who he was supposed to become. And he's open with people, he's friendly, he's talking. So there's a lot of stories like that from different kids across the country, just wanting to get out there and make a difference. And they're meeting people they probably normally wouldn't have met if they weren't mowing these lawns. And they're building long-lasting relationships, and they always check up. Even like the kid Cannon, who I just mentioned, there's one lady that he mows for. She became like his adopted grandmother. They just have a special bond, and this all just came from lawn mowing. For me, there's been many people that I've met during my time with lawn mowing. There was this lady named Mrs. Gibbs. I probably met her in 2016 when I first started the organization, and she became like an adoptive grandmother to me. And every time I would mow her lawn, we would sit and chat after I would get done, and we just sit on the porch and talk for hours. And she considered me her adopted grandson, and sadly she passed probably about 2 years ago, and that really affected me because we had such a special bond. And there's so many stories like that of different people that I've met personally by doing this. And I also travel to all 50 states on different 50-state mowing tours that I do, and I've met so many veterans. I've met so many different people, across my journeys.
So these people become family to you.
Yes.
Has it ever united entire communities?
Yeah, you could say it has united communities. You see communities really come out and support the kids, especially. Every time that I announce that a kid has completed the 50-yard challenge in a certain area, the community really backs them. I've seen like small towns really come out and support kids, especially like in Idaho and Oklahoma. We have a lot of kids in those areas, and every time I say I'm coming to the state of Iowa or Idaho or Oklahoma to see a kid that finished the challenge, they really come out and support that kid. So you really see the community back these kids. And one thing I realized that a lot of kids do after they finish the 50-yard challenge, they some of them start a business and they become entrepreneurs, but they still mow free lawns for those in need. So, I didn't realize that was something that was happening, but, also created entrepreneurs in a way as well.
Well, that's really powerful. Let's hear some specific stories of the kids that have joined your program.
There was a kid named Andre. He's one of the first kids that started the 50-yard challenge back in 2016. His mother just happened to see me online and see what we're doing in Huntsville, Alabama. It was Andre and another kid named Quentin. Quentin lived in Marion, Ohio. His grandmother saw what we were doing in Huntsville, in Alabama. And at the same time, Andre's mother saw what we were doing in Huntsville, Alabama. And they wanted to get their kids involved with the program. So that's when I just told them, if your son, Andre, can complete the 50-yard challenge, and if your grandson, Quentin, can complete the 50-yard challenge, I'll come out there and give them a brand new more for completing it. Because at first it was just locally in Huntsville, Alabama. I didn't really have intentions for it to be out of state. And that summer in 2016, Andre and Quentin went on to complete what we call today the 50-yard challenge. And I went out there to them and I presented them a brand new mower. And they were very proud, and they went on to continue to help their community. And ever since, since then, about 5,000 plus kids across this country have signed up for our 50-yard challenge. And, so they were the first two that really got the ball rolling for our organization in different states. And like I said, it has grown ever since. We have about 5,000 kids spread the country. There are also kids in 8 other different countries that are taking part. So it's not just here in the United States where kids are taking part in our organization. It's kids around the world that are getting out there and making a difference one lawn at a time. And it's not just lawn mowing. We also include raking leaves and snow shoveling as well. So it's a year-round way for kids to give back to their community.
Have you ever run into kids that have needed a father figure or some sort of a mentor in their life? How has this program provided that for them?
Especially for the kids that come out with me locally to mow lawns. A lot of them come from single-parent mother households. So when they can come out, we can mentor them. We can, be that father figure that a lot of them are missing in their lives. So you see them, really appreciate coming out and spending time and, being showed how to use a lawnmower, someone checking in on them. You see that it brings a lot of them joy and happiness. I'm not a father myself, but, to a lot of these kids, they kind of consider me like a father figure in their lives.
That's amazing. Have you seen some of those kids go on to pay that forward and to become mentors to somebody else as they develop and grow?
Most of the kids locally, some of them have gone on and become fathers themselves at a young age. But, just to see them grow up and take care of responsibilities and be a father to their kids, they do that. There's another kid locally here named Lamar. He just went off to college, and he came from a single parent household, and he told me how much me mentoring him meant to him. So stories like that always bring a smile to me, just knowing that I made a difference in Lamar's life. And he was our first recipient of our scholarship fund, which we named after Miss Mary Gibbs, who I mentioned a little earlier. So yeah, you could say it really had an impact on him.
Tell me a little bit more about the scholarship fund.
Yeah, so the scholarship fund was something we started, I believe, this year. It's in memory of Mrs. Gibbs, who I met and was at the start of the organization, who became my adoptive grandmother after all these years of mowing her lawn. And I just wanted to do something special for her and her family after she passed away, and I named our first ever scholarship fund in her memory. And the goal is to award $1,000 scholarships to kids in our program that finish the program that are going on to college. So either they're in their senior year or they're in their first year of college. We want to help them out, and my goal is to hope that over the next few years we can keep growing it and growing it, and we can give even more money out to these kids that take part in our program and want to go on to college. It doesn't have to be a 4-year college. It can be a trade school, because we also need people to work in different trades. So that's important as well. So I told kids, if you don't want to go to a 4-year college, please consider going to a trade school and learn a trade, because we all need a skill so we can live life.
Do you ever think that she could have imagined the influence that her connection to you would have on future generations?
I do remember she done a video, because I was on a Clyde Clarkson show once, and they wanted to interview different people that I mowed for. I believe her daughter submitted a video, and she made a nice comment. It was like a 30-second video, and she said, I really hope that he continues on with this. So, that really touched my heart. So I guess you can say that she saw what we were doing, and was very proud of me.
I think she very likely had a vision
Yeah.
of its potential, and because of her relationship with you,
Hmm.
she had faith in you. She knew that what you were capable of.
Yes.
And I think that it gave her a sense of confidence that possible yet impossible things could be accomplished through this program.
You saw that every time we would mow her lawn, and when the kids would come out with me and mow her lawn, she was very happy to see the kids, probably more than me. She liked to sit down with them and ask them how their day was going, how their summer was going, and she really enjoyed that because she didn't have too many visitors, just her family. So when the kids can come by and just sit on the porch and we just talk, it meant a lot to her.
Something else that I think is fascinating about what you're doing when people are stressed about the necessities of life, and you could consider having keeping up your property as being a necessity, especially in some places where there are city ordinances, or there may be associations that require that, and you can be reported if you're not keeping that up. That's just, if you're having trouble making ends meet, you're having trouble financially, all of these things are adding up. That's stressful on your life, and it takes up a lot of bandwidth emotionally, and it makes it very difficult for some people to be focused on connections with others when they're just stressed about basic things of survival.
Yes.
And it may be due to financial reasons that they can't keep up their property, it may be to physical reasons, or both.
Hmm.
And so when you're coming in there and you're just taking care of that and you're freeing up that bandwidth, I imagine you've seen people just become changed. They're different people. They come out of shells, and the relationships get formed. I mean, it seems like such a small act, but man, I can't even imagine the possible impact that it has when that person is freed up. That little part they were stressed over is gone.
Yeah, you see that a lot because, like I said earlier, a lot of people that we move for, the elderly, disabled, and they're on fixed income, so they have to make a decision: do I get my food and medication, or do I pay someone to mow my lawn so I don't get fined by the city? So when we can come mow for free, that frees them up of so much stress. That, oh no, what am I gonna do? So when we come mow for free, that now frees them up and they can get what's important to them. They can get that medication that they really need. They can get their food so they can live for that week. So you see that it frees them up. They become stress free. So that's the goal, and that's the goal of the organization, just to continue to grow, because there's so many people living paycheck to paycheck, living on a fixed income, that need this help. They need it, and our goal is to find ways to help them out and expand the organization and get more kids involved so we can help them.
There's another way that you're being very impactful, and you're teaching an important value of looking out for other things to do around your community and not waiting for the government to come in and provide that solution. A lot of people think that that is the solution all of the time, is that the government or some government agency is supposed to provide services, or they're supposed to solve all of the problems of the community. And while the government may actually play a role in that, and to some degree you're paying taxes, those taxes should be utilized to do something, but it's never going to be enough. The government will never be able to provide everything that everyone in a community needs, nor was it designed to. People are being taught, kids are being taught, hey, you have energy, you have two hands, you have 2 feet. There's a problem over there that needs to be solved, that you are able to solve right now.
Yeah.
And there is no need to wait on some organization or some government department to come in here and solve that, when you can step in and just take care of it. Take care of your neighbor, take care of your community.
Hmm.
And if we did that, we are lightening the load on so many other organizations. You're getting the health benefits of good exercise, good mental health, because you're connecting with your community. There's so many residual benefits to what you're doing that go way beyond just as one simple act that you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yes. And we can't, like you said, we can't wait on that government assistance. We have to take that initiative to help our own community, because if you wait on the government, you don't know how long you'll be waiting for. So if you see a need, I encourage people to get out there and fulfill that need. And don't worry about how you're going to fund that, because once you start doing the work, the community will support you. So if you can come together as a community and help each other, you don't have to worry about the government, because they can only do so much. We don't need to rely on the government for every single thing. We need to take initiative, and we need to help our own communities out, and we can get the job done faster that way. So I encourage people, see a need, fulfill that need, and get to work. It's important.
How can dads listening learn more about raising men and women lawn care service? How can they get involved and get their kids involved?
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about our organization, you can go to weareraisingmen.com or raisingmenandwomen.com, and you can go on there and simply sign your kids up. With them doing the 50-yard challenge, we also encourage, fathers especially to, do the 50-yard challenge along with your kid. That's some special bonding time. There was a grandfather that was taking part in our 50-yard challenge along with his grandkids. And he told us during that whole time they were doing the 50-yard challenge, those are moments that he cherished, because otherwise those kids would probably be inside playing video games. But they were out this time mowing lawns, and he was showing them how to use a lawnmower. So, I encourage you to do the 50-yard challenge alongside with your kids so you can spend that much needed quality bonding time. It's special moments that you can cherish forever. But you can learn about the 50-yard challenge on our website at weareraisingmen.com or raisingmenandwomen.com.
If someone in this listening audience would like to support what you're doing financially, is there a way they can do that?
Yeah, so on our website, there's many ways to help and support the organization by donating. They can donate funds, or they can go to our Amazon wish list. We have lawnmowers, weed eaters, and blowers, because our 50-yard challenge is set up by the karate system. Every 10 lawns the kids mow, they get a different color t-shirt. So they start with a white t-shirt. Once they mow 10, they get an orange, 20 earns a green, 30 a blue, 40 a red, and 50 lawns earns a black. And then once they mow 50 free lawns in their community, we get them a brand new mower, weed eater, and blower, which come from our Amazon wish list. So people go in there and they just buy those items, and they're sent to us. And then every time a kid completes the 50-yard challenge, I personally get in my van and I drive to them and present them these items. So if they want to learn how to donate, they could just go to the website, and there's many different ways to donate.
Rodney, as we close, what is your challenge to dads listening now?
My challenge to you is, find a way to make the world a better place. There are so many people that need help with so many different things. I encourage you to look around your community, and if you see a need, try to fulfill that need. We can all make a difference. For me, I've chosen the lawnmower to make a difference with, and I'm encouraging kids. You can find a need in your community, and you can encourage your community to support you and give back. So just find that need, and let's stand together and let's make a difference in our communities across this country.
Rodney, it has been an honor to hear your story and for you to come on the program and share what you've done and how you've impacted the community and how so many others are doing the same. Thank you so much for encouraging dads in this audience.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Fatherhood Challenge. If you would like to contact us, listen to other episodes, find any resource mentioned in this program, or find out more information about the Fatherhood Challenge, please visit thefatherhoodchallenge.com. That's thefatherhoodchallenge.com.